Welcome to the Public Access Podcast, the podcast. Yo, man, Boom Miss Rusty. I'm doing this all out of order because this isn't my first rodeo, but this is my first rodeo. And I'm here with my special guest. My special guest is right here and right now. My special guest is Yvonne Mason. Yvonne, thank you for being here. Thank you for being back at the rodeo.
You are quite welcome. Glad to be on the show.
Yeah, so have you been to the rodeo? When was the last time you went to the rodeo?
Oh, many years ago. But as
What?
far as podcasts go and shows go, I've done this so many times, it's like second nature. I even have my own podcast.
So when do you like to record your podcast? If you had an
I do my
ideal time.
I do mine live.
Okay. That must be pretty interesting then.
It is because I grew up with live television.
Yep.
So watching live television has taught me how to pivot when things don't always go according to plan.
I was talking about that last night on the podcast about pivoting when things don't go to plan. And I think it's very important to have that to be able to pivot. And so when you're doing it live, is it, uh, it's not like a call in or anything, is it? Or do you have people that are,
I have people that are literally they are on the show like we are. They sign into as a guest, and ours are all audio and video.
okay, all right. So there's no call-ins then. There's no people where you have to have the screeners when these people call in, wanting to say interesting things on the radio. I remember public access TV was a big thing, and that was those call-in shows. I always wanted to have one, but I wasn't quite around the right time for that.
Call-in shows have sort of used up their life expectancies,
Yeah.
and with the toxic environment we're in now, you can't trust a call-in show. You can't trust a caller to be respectful, to be an adult as opposed to an adult child, to not become personal with the topic. It's okay to voice one's opinion and have a discussion, but you're not going to get in a fight over a call-in show that's not only silly, it's stupid.
Right. Sometimes silly and stupid aren't too far away. They're pretty close in the dictionary.
They go hand in hand sometimes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. So what's one thing that you really enjoy about your podcast more than anything?
Well, being a publisher as well as being an author, I get to bring on indie authors that otherwise would not have a voice. And our podcast is heard all over the world.
Sure.
And especially we use Riverside as well. And I love the little magic clips because I get to pull little nuggets out of the podcast and use it as advertising for people to go over to our website and watch the podcast.
So if you ever are running out of guests that are authors, I can hook you up with my favorite person to book authors if you're running low ever. I have a guy, and I can give you that afterwards, but I assume you have plenty of them. But if you're ever wanting some more, I have a bunch, and I've really liked working with this guy. Most of the
I'm
time,
always
okay.
looking for guests.
Okay, most of the time when people say, "Hey, I have so and so," then I'm doing the booking for so and so. I usually start rolling my eyes, and I'm like, "Okay, this is going to be a big pain here. Like, is this even a real thing?" Or else, there's usually some catch or something. But this guy, I've been working with him for at least a couple of years, maybe a little longer, but he's always done me pretty well, and I've enjoyed the guests he's brought on, and um, yeah, there's no extra part, and I'm not getting any money off of this, so I'm telling you this because I like the guy. So so where are you getting your bookings from? How are you doing your bookings?
I, and like I said, I am an independent publisher, and right now, I have over 30 authors. So when my authors launch a new book, I bring them on the show. Yes, on Wednesday, we interviewed our international author from Cornwall in the UK.
Whoa.
And I
Okay.
continually bring our authors back. And then I have authors that I don't publish that because I know them, I bring them on the show.
Okay. So it's all about authors every day, every
It's
show.
sometimes it's about what's going on in the publishing world because once a month, my co-host and we do a workshop and we talk
Okay.
about what's going on in the publishing world, how to stay away from scammers, how to do the Chicago style of writing. You would be surprised at the writers, and there's a difference in writers and authors, at the writers that don't know how to put a book in book format.
Okay. And so that's where a publisher comes in. Because I mean, and any person can write a book and put it onto Amazon, or like what it used to be in the day was go to uh, Kinko's or something and get that with the what were those called? The coiled
The
the
spiral.
yeah, the spiral. What have that with it, or maybe if you were fancy, you were able to get it into a hardcover or a paperback. But yeah, I mean now with people doing the self-publishing, it's changed the game quite a bit. And so so you have a format. You go with the Chicago format, and that just is the standard, and no deviation from the standard because it's tried and true, and it's always going to be there, able to find it at the bookstore, at the library pretty easily. What's so what's your stance on that with stuff going to the library? Is that good for authors, or is that a bad thing for authors, or is it because you only get so many sales, but then it's also getting a bunch more eyes. But if it gets there, if it I don't know, because libraries are an interesting thing. Not a lot of people use them, but I like them.
Libraries to me are like eyes. They're windows to authors because by going to a library, I got hooked on an author who is no longer alive. And so I started buying his books because my husband and I listened to books on tape. I started buying his books on tape and then I started buying his books. So libraries offer the opportunity for a potential new reader to get hooked on an author. I
Sure.
love
Uh,
libraries.
Yeah. So then are you encouraging your authors to also do books on tape, whatever the translation is to whatever it would be called now, audiobook or whatever it may be. I would still say book on tape as well, but are you encouraging them to do that? And are you part of that, or is that somebody else that you pass
That's
them off
something
to?
that we No, that's something that we do for our authors because Amazon affords me as a publisher the opportunity to put their books up in Audible. Amazon has a program using, and ladies and gentlemen, don't get your knickers in a twist, because I've been doing this a long, long time. They have a program that offers AI Audible, and it's different voices from different parts of the world in the United States, Australia, Canada, a Southern dialect, the UK. And we are actually selling our books on Audible by my using that program.
Okay, so you're uh, Southern man uh, dialect is reading your book. Do you like? Does each author then pick which one they want, or could it be like, or is it just? Is it kind of for each one? It's just like the person picks it, whoever is listening to it, like, hey, I want to listen to it in this style, or is it just you have that and that's what it is?
A gift within myself that as I'm formatting and editing my author's books, and depending on what part of the country my author is from, the for instance, the author I interviewed on Wednesday from the UK, her book is a romance book. It's written by a female. So I went in and I found the perfect female voice from England and used that voice to create the Audible.
Okay, all right. Weird random question. If you had to guess where I'm from, what would you say?
Probably the Midwest.
Okay, all right. I'm from the Northwest. So I was, but I lived in the Midwest for a while, and so that could be it too. I did a thing where I was, I had a job for a while, and it was this shitty job, and I would call up realtors uh, to be able to give them the first page on Google with, realtor for whatever. Like, uh, they said that my accent sounded most like I lived in South Dakota. So it would be like realtor in Sioux City, South Dakota, but then that's different than Sioux City, South Dakota realtor. Like, you'd only get them on one of those pages. And so, but also, yeah, if you ever want to call up a realtor, they have their number or phone number, uh, probably their cell phone number listed on their page, and you can call them anytime you want. And they always pick up. And if they don't pick up, they call you right back because they want business. And so I felt extremely shitty about that. I felt horrible doing this because I'm disrupting these people, but it's a job, but still. But anyway, so yeah, they said I sounded like I was from South Dakota. So it kind of it makes sense with what you're saying. But so anyway, okay, so you have people so you go and decide where it sounds like they're best from. So if someone you said was from the UK, you have UK person, and then do you ask them if they want what kind of voice they want, or do you choose that as well?
I
Like,
choose the voice.
okay, like all right, if you want it, yeah.
You have to understand, Rusty, that as I'm reading my author's book, that author's book is written through that author's voice. And I've dealt with most of these authors enough to know what voice needs to be in the book. Any Audible book that is even done on the people out there that it costs the author up to $20,000, they don't take that much time to understand the author's voice. They just read the book the way they want to read it, the way
Okay.
they think it be. But I have been inside of the book when I'm working on it, formatting, editing, getting it ready to go up, that those characters become people to me, and they
Oh, all
become
right.
people through the author's voice.
Okay. So uh, so then most of these authors are doing, is it mostly fiction stories then that you're
I
coming
have
across?
fiction, I have fiction, I have self-help, I have domestic violence survivors, I write true crime, we have horror, we have comedy, we have dramedy, we have children's books. I publish anything but erotica. We have
Okay.
nonfiction.
So, all right. So, did you have someone offer that one to you and you said no, or did you know that beforehand? And like, or do you have to change it? Like someone said something like, I want to have this published, and you're like, no, or was it just like you knew beforehand that this isn't
Well,
anything I want to get into?
the only thing I will turn down is erotica. So everybody and their brother knows that we don't do erotica. I have dropped authors because there's two things that I ask the authors before I even start with them. Are you going to trust the process, and are you going to trust me? Like I said, I've been in this business before it was a business. And if they say, yes, I trust the process, I trust you, and then I start sending them book covers and graphics, and they come back and go, well, I'm really married to my book cover and I'm not going to change it. I don't care what you're telling me. And I say, well, maybe this isn't the place for you.
Yeah, good.
So
There's plenty of,
I'm not afraid to shut them down. I had one author say, well, I did a complete children's book, and they came back, they'd signed the contract and everything, and came back and said, well, we're going to go in another direction. And I said, maybe we're not the place for you.
yeah,
Have at it.
yeah. Let them, if you know what you're doing, and I mean, that's part of the deal. Like that's part of what they're getting when they sign up to work with you is that like coming in there thinking you know everything is that's
And
I mean with
Rusty,
anything, yeah.
the
Go ahead.
sad part with these new writers is they come in, like you say, with the attitude that they know everything about the industry. They could take what they know and put it on the head of a pen and still have room for 20 million other things, because the industry itself can be deceptive. And when you listen to the white noise within the industry, and we get this all the time, oh, I can make your book sell 20 million copies. No, honey, you can't. You're like an insurance salesman. You can't make that promise and expect it to be real, because as an indie author, this is what I tell my authors. As an indie author, if you're coming in this with the attitude of I'm going to be the next bestseller and I'm going to be on the TV and I'm going to, please get another dream, because it's not going to happen. Your
Yeah,
success begins when you give me that book and let me publish it for you. That is success.
right.
It can sit on your computer. It can sit
Go
on
ahead.
your computer for a day, and that dream is not fulfilled. But when I publish that book for you, that is success.
Yeah. And so when it gets like what's is there I don't know, is there different packages for what you do, or is everything one package and you go through it, or is it there different tiers of what you do?
The only tier is trust the process, trust me, and I
Hmm.
charge zero. I charge no money for what I do.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
I normally, when you go to a publishing house, whether it's a vanity press, whether it's an indie publisher, even whether it's the big six, you are generally charged for formatting, for editing, for cover design. If it's a children's book, for the graphics, for the illustrations, for putting it up on the different formats on Amazon. Everything has a charge to it. When I started this publishing house, my publisher had died. So I had two people I had sent to my publisher, and they said, Yvonne, what are we going to do? We're not ever going to get published again. So I came home. I have a very deep faith, Rusty. God makes all of my decisions for me. And I had a conversation with God, and I said, okay, God, you didn't get them this far for them not to be able to do what they have dreamed of doing. He said, so it's yours now. You do it. And I went, okay. He says, you've got the experience. You've been out there long enough. You know the traps. You know the scams. You understand the industry inside and out. You have the gift to be able to do this. So do it. So I did. We are starting on our third year of being in the business. We have 152 titles up on Amazon. And the only time I charge an author is once they've signed off on the cover and the manuscript, and I put it up, and they come back and say, well, Aunt Susie doesn't like my cover, or I forgot to put a paragraph in. Will you take it down and redo it? Yeah, I'll take it down. It goes to the back of my queue, and you get charged for everything that I have to do. That is the only charge. That is it. I do all their 10-second videos. I do all their cover designs. I do all the graphics for the children's books and the graphic novels, all the editing, all the formatting, and all the marketing.
Where are you getting the time for this? How does that work? What's that
I
look
work
like?
I work 7 days a week.
Okay, I can
Let me put it
imagine.
this way. It's not work. It's a passion. Because I've been where these writers are. I understand having that dream and not knowing where to go. When I first started, the first book I published in 2006, there were no marketing, there was no social media, and the only place to publish it was Lulu. And Lulu's a pain in the neck anyway, and it was an even worse pain in the neck 20 years ago. There was a group of us, there were 7 of us that banded together, and we helped each other as indie authors to get out there. I ran a podcast for 12 years on Blog Talk before Blog Talk folded. And I interviewed authors, musicians. We had political people on. It was just, we call it off the chain. But I understand that dream, and I understand the frustration of what do I do next? I've written this book. What do I do next? So this is not a job. This is a gift from God that I give to other people.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens if someone comes in and so I mean, everything you see is uh, AI and it hasn't been done. Nothing's been done to it. Where do you go with that? Like, what happens if someone plops that down on your desk? Uh, yeah.
We have a rule here that AI is used as a tool. You use AI when you do a Microsoft document. You use AI on your phone. You use AI on your TV. Your computer is AI. AI is used as a tool, but if I get a manuscript that's completely AI, I know the difference. And I will not, I have made it very clear, do not send me a manuscript that is AI, because Amazon will ban it and they will kick us all off. And I will not be able to publish for my authors again. And my authors, I will not take the want of one away from the needs of many. No, if you are
Yeah.
not dedicated enough to write your own words, then don't send it to me.
Yeah. So what do you see in that would flag it for you? Just I don't know if you want to give out your secrets, but
Still, AI doesn't know how to put emotion into a book. AI doesn't know how to create scenes that are believable. AI is very stilted. As when an author comes on, you learn that voice real quick. And if it sometime go off the rails and send me something that's completely AI generated, I know it. And
Yeah.
like I said, I use AI. I use it as a tool, but we've used AI for years. We're using AI
Spell
right
check.
now.
Yeah.
Exact spell check. But that doesn't mean that if you are so lazy and so non-committal that you're going to throw an idea into AI and say, okay, write my book. You're not a writer. You're not an author. You're just somebody that think you're going to make big bucks doing something stupid.
Right. And so that's another thing. So I would see this in wrestling that people would come in that when they first start training, they're like, I want to come in because I want to make a lot of money. I want to make the big bucks. That's why I'm here. I want to be top of the shit. Like, I don't know, something like that. And then those people that I've noticed usually, I don't think any of them made it too far. And I don't know what happens when that happens with you. Do people come in saying they're going to be the next so and so, or is that go back to the people that think they know everything, don't want to
We
learn
have a
anything?
we have a come to Jesus meeting, and
Okay.
I explained to them this is the way it is. You build your reputation, your availability, you build your brand. You are the brand. You, that person, are the brand. Your book is the byproduct. So you can't sell a byproduct if you don't have a brand first. And you have to start at the bottom of the heap. It's like a foundation of a house. And I know a lot of young people, and this has been going on for years and years and years, walk into a company and say, I want to be the CEO. Well, what do you know about the company? It has four walls. That's not how you get there. And that's the same as being an author. And it's going into wrestling. You've got to start at the bottom and learn the basics. If not, just this morning, I've got an author that's sending me scam emails from people wanting to represent her and charge her thousands of dollars to represent her.
Okay, so that was another thing I wanted to bring up. So the those things like uh, I assume like anytime someone publishes a book or is about to, or they're in some sort of group on Facebook or something to that effect, that they're gonna get people coming in and saying this stuff like, oh hey, I'm gonna get you to you know whatever rank way high. I'm gonna go and get this something, but yeah, it costs thousands of dollars. And so is that, I mean, like, what do you do in that situation? I mean, I assume it's probably a pretty obvious answer, but um, I
What I
mean,
tell my authors is when you get something like that, you tell them to contact me. Because what I do is I let them know real quick that my authors have everything they need under one roof, which is me. They don't need to go out and spend thousands of dollars they don't have for a 7-second video that will run for 2 weeks.
oh, okay, yeah,
Because
for
our videos run all the time. I update our videos. Our videos go on all over the world on 20 different social media sites.
okay, and then so is that, and are you running all those social media sites?
Absolutely.
Okay, and is any of that automated, or is it, are you doing all of these manually throwing them in, or because I'm just learning about automation for some of this stuff because I'm not a man who likes too much busy work. So I'm working on automation, but uh, you know, I haven't got there yet. So
So
yeah,
what I do with Riverside, Riverside loads up to my off the chain. That's where we go live. It loads up to YouTube. Then when it loads up to YouTube, I go into YouTube and I load it up to LinkedIn and to Twitter.
Ooh,
Then I go over to TikTok and Instagram, put it up manually there. Then I go over to my author website, and that's where the automation fun kicks in, because there's about 15 sites that are linked to that website. So when I put it up on that website, it automatically goes to Blue Sky, Mastodon, Substack, X, Tumblr. There's several more I can't even remember. And our
okay.
Riverside podcast goes on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer, and several other podcasts that I don't even know who they are.
Right. Who does know anymore? It's sometimes just like you're looking like, well, I have my podcast on there. All right. It just, sure. Uh, it's cool. Great.
Our
Like, who's, go ahead.
our YouTube site has over 4 million viewers.
Okay.
We're on YouTube TV now.
What is YouTube TV?
All right, if you have streaming on your television, you can stream YouTube TV. It's a subscribed channel, and
Okay.
we pop up on the YouTube channel on streaming.
Okay. So that's for when you're doing the live video, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you're doing the live video, uh, so people, are they then, so I don't know, I think we talked about this earlier. Were there people that were coming in and messaging on there? Or is
We
it,
have a chat. Yeah, we have a chat.
so are you stopping and reading those during it? Or are you going and like just going through it and then you'll see it at the end and be like, oh, okay.
No, we answer the chat messages with the people that are in the chat room. We've also we had an author come on just like you and I are now in the studio, and her daughters called in and came into the studio using their phones, and we had a gay old time.
Okay. All right. Just, yeah, bring them on in. And, you knew that they were at least not going to do some crazy stuff on there.
Right.
That's a good thing. And so, all right, so then you're getting it out and it's automating. So I mean, the automation is is something, and it's nice that it's able to do that. Are there other things you've been able to save time? So with as many irons and as many fires as you have right now, um, what kind of other automation tricks have you picked up along the way?
Making sure for when I do a book, say you've given me your book, I edit it, I format it, I get it up. You approve the cover, you approve the manuscript, I get it up. Once I put that book up, then I go and create the videos and the launch date and put it up on all the sites. And it's there. You can Google your name, you can see it, it's all there. As Riverside brings on more availability to add links so that it automatically goes out, I watch Riverside. They send me a message all the time. Oh, this book that you can link to now. I go in and update my Riverside account to automatically link to that site.
Okay, that's a pretty good way to do it. What about with the publishing? Is that been able to be? I mean, because I mean, it's got to be easier, or easier is not the right word. Uh, More streamlined and than it was before with using Amazon KDP, um, or is it less?
I get a rhythm.
Okay.
When I get a book, I know by the number of pages whether or not it'll go up on 3 or 4 formats. 3 or 4 formats being hardcover, softcover, Kindle, and Audible. If it's below 79 pages, they won't do it in hardback. So I have 3 formats to get it up on. All of those formats require a different cover size. So when I build the cover, I save the JPEGs the size that those covers have to be before I do anything else. So when I go in to build the cover, let's say I build the paperback, I build the paperback, get it up. The cover for the hardback is already built. So all I have to do is put the hardback up, pull down the PDF file to put the cover on, save it, and it goes up. Same thing with Kindle. Go and create the Kindle file, put it up, then all I have to do is pull the Kindle cover down and put it up, and we're done. It gets a rhythm. And when you find that rhythm, I can get one book up in about 45 minutes in 3 different formats. The Audible, I can't do anything with the Audible until the book goes live, because the Audible is pulled from the Kindle version. So once Kindle goes live, then Amazon says, hey, you can put it up on Audible now. So I go in and create the Audible. Takes 5 minutes.
So then what are you getting, books that are too thick for a hardback? And like, or do you have like a normal, not normal, like a kind of a average size of a book? Like, because I know that 750 pages is too thick for a hardback, or hardcover. Are you getting books that are like that? Like people sending you those ones, or are they mostly kind of around the same size for the books, or is it all over the place?
I have an author that her books right now are over 550 pages. Amazon cuts it off at 550 pages for hardback.
Oh,
So
550?
those books, 550.
I thought it was
So those
750.
books only
Okay.
go up on paperback. No, it's 550. So those books only go up
Okay.
on paperback, and she understands that, and she's okay with that. But it still goes up on Audible, still goes up on Kindle.
Well, okay. So, do you usually discourage that, or does it like whatever makes the person happy, however
It's
they
whatever
need to tell their
it's
story?
whatever it's whatever they write, because it's still going up one way or the other.
Yeah. And yeah, it's up there, and then it's available. So do you go then also with the, what is it called? What is it called with the library, being able to publish to the library? What's that? Uh,
Library of Congress.
no, like there's a different publishing place to be able to publish for library books that they use. I don't recall the name of it.
I
But
will
if
have
you
to
don't
look that
know,
one up. No, I'll have to
okay.
look that one up.
Um, yeah, because you can't, I don't know if you can't, but I think it was very difficult to be able to take Amazon books, like Amazon KDP books, and be able to get them ready. Like if a library wanted to just buy them I mean, you can go and buy them yourself and then bring them to the library if they wanted them. Uh, but as far as them like having there's a service that they use to be able to print off all their books if they want to buy them, and I don't recall the name of that. But so do you have authors that are asking to be in the library? Or are they wanting mainly to be, just to have it published, or what's?
We have several authors that are in their local libraries because they have a relationship with the library. So they go in and they donate their books to the library, which again
Sure.
opens up a door for people to go on Amazon and order books.
Yeah. And then yeah, like doing the reading, or like, I guess an author night at the library then usually with your book and all that.
Yep. And the beautiful thing about being an independent author, Rusty, is when you are with, and I hear people say all the time, I want to be published by Penguin, or I want to be published by HarperCollins, or I want to be the restrictions that the Big Six puts on an author. To begin with, you have to be vetted, and there are certain criteria that you have to meet, or you're not going to get there. Second of all, any advance they give you either has to be paid back if enough books are not sold within a year to take care of that advance, and you only get 3% of your royalties. Plus, they determine how many books you give out, what events you do, and what marketing you are allowed to do.
Oh, gee. That doesn't
Yeah,
sound too appealing.
that's just the top of the iceberg. They want to make sure that you're camera ready. If you are not camera ready, then forget it. They're not going to work with you. In other words, if you get Susie Q out of the backwoods of North Carolina and they can't dress you up to make you look cityfied, they're not gonna take you on.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah,
But it's not fair. It's not right.
right.
Because
Yeah,
why would you want to dress somebody up to be somebody they're not when they're trying to promote their work? It is their voice. It
yeah,
is
tell a
who they
story
are.
only they can
Right.
tell.
Exactly. So, and the thing with that is you are not treated as a human being. You're treated as a number. They will take your book. Let's say you get on with one of the Big Six. You've lost complete control of your book. They rewrite your book to what they want it to say. They do the cover and say like it or lump it. Then they want to make you over to be somebody you're not. That's wrong.
Right. And then what are you selling? And like, how do you, and what do you do when you're going out and you're talking, you do an interview with someone? What do you say? You have to say what they want you to say,
Yep.
and you better not say the wrong thing.
And you have to dress the way they want you to dress. You have to. It wouldn't even surprise me if they put people through diction school so that they could learn how to speak properly. Well, if you're from the hills of Tennessee and you've written a book about the Appalachian culture, that's how you talk more likely than not.
Right.
It's not fair to make you sound like you're from New York and you live in Appalachia, and that's your culture, that's your environment.
Yeah. And I mean, that's gonna, when people then read the book and they're like, well, what is this? Who wrote this? It doesn't sound at all like the person who wrote it. And I assume it's sort of like what it is when you get someone that's, throwing out AI stories and you're like, this doesn't sound anything like you. Like, uh, what did you do? Why is this a thing? Why, what voice is this? And your voice, no, yeah, I mean, maybe at the beginning, people trying to find their voice because, um, and how does that work? I mean, like with a book, uh, I mean, do people have to wait a while till they find their voice, or like, is it like when you're first getting the people in there, are they having like knowing who they are and like everybody that like would read their work know that like, oh, this is them, or are you kind of helping them find their voice through it, or how does that work?
All of the above.
Okay,
When
I like that
when a
answer.
when a writer starts out, their friends and family know that they're on this project, they're on this journey. 99% of writers out there have never ever taken a writing course of any kind. They don't know the difference between technical journalism and creative writing. So if I get a book that sounds too journalistic or sounds too technical, and as I'm reading through it, I take notes and I go back and I say, okay, this is what you wrote. You are trying to attract a reader. You want to pull that reader in. Please rewrite this. Here's an example. I had to do that with one of my authors the other day because some writers, when they write, they don't think that eventually that piece of material is going out into the world. They may understand what they've written, but it's going to confuse the reader, or it's going to confuse me, the publisher, and I read a lot. So, and to your question, it's a learning process. For instance, don't send me a manuscript that's all text message language. I'm sorry, that's not how we do creative writing.
Do you get those?
You don't.
I said
I
you
have, and I've said no. You're going to put it in the Queen's English, or Southern English, or Midwestern English, or New England English. We're not. This is not a cell phone. It's not a text message. You're writing a story. You want to grab your reader from the very first sentence, even before you open that book. That's why we do the covers the way we do. You want to grab that reader so that you have them locked in as one of your fans.
Yeah, I like that. So when someone is getting in the process of thinking about writing, or maybe already has something written mostly, like when do they come to you? Is it like I have an idea, or is it I'm most of the way through, or I've been working on this for 17 years and this is my 64th revision and I want to give this to you and it's perfect, and don't change anything ever because uh, this is the best thing and it's gonna, you wait to see what it does, somewhere in between there, like.
First of all, we don't accept anything but a completed manuscript. And that
Okay.
means that author has gone through, they have written it, they've revised it. You never send me a first draft, because a first draft is just that. It's like hanging half a curtain. You send me a completed manuscript. I don't care if it's taken you 6 months, a year, or 16 years. The manuscript is completed. No manuscript is ever going to be perfect, ever. No matter how many edits you do, no matter how many times you proofread it, there's always going to be a mistake, simply because we're human. As one of the publishers said, that a manuscript they had put out there, a reader wrote in and said, you missed this one. And they said, well, we have 7 different editors, so if we missed it, I guess it was supposed to be there. When there is a mistake and it does get past us, just move on. Just finish reading the book. It has nothing, it's not going to change the story.
Right.
When somebody says, I don't want anything changed, honey, you have to understand, and this is me talking to my author, if you've got missing quotation marks, if you've got those damn dashes, if you don't know the difference between a colon and a semicolon or a comma, those are going to be changed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
number one, I don't do dashes in my author's books. To me, those are distracting. Don't put words
AI.
in parentheses. Those are distracting. If there is a sentence or a paragraph that is convoluted, I'm going to say, okay, please rework this. And this is why.
Yeah, which is probably a lot, that's a lot of feedback, which is great.
Yeah, because it is part of the editing process. So if somebody comes to me and says, don't touch anything, it's done, I'm going to say, okay, so how married are you to this manuscript? Because if you're that married to it, then you go do something else with it.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Exactly. Put it up yourself. Well, I don't know how. Well, there you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny right there. And so if people are ready to do that, where do they find you besides down here in the description and everything? Or what is the description? How do they get a hold of you? Where do they see your podcast? Where do they work? Uh, Everything, all that
They
simple.
can join our Midnight Publishing group page. They can friend me on Facebook. They can email me at midnight_publishing@yahoo.com. They can DM me on my Facebook page. I have people now coming to me. I don't know how they found me, but they found me. If somebody wants to publish bad enough, they'll find me. The podcasts are on our website, All Things Books and Publishing at .riverside.com. The author's page is Midnight Publishing midnight-publishing.org. The YouTube channel is under Yvonne Mason, Midnight Publishing. We're everywhere. All you have to do is just look us up.
That's pretty easy right there. I like that a
Very
lot.
easy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Yvonne, for being on. I enjoyed getting to talk with you. And yeah, if anybody is looking with the finished manuscript, go that way. Uh, yeah, that's not get working on it. And what? Well, one last thing. So, what would you tell someone to have their first step be to writing a book if they're going to
Sit,
before they get to you?
sit down at your computer and put your thoughts down. It doesn't matter if you're rambling. You sit out near your computer and you start typing, or sit down with a notebook and a pen. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. You just start writing, because then you go back and you refine it.
Perfect. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for being here on the Rusty Diamond Podcast Network. Find me, rustydiamond.net. I'll have everything you want and probably more than you need. So thank you, everyone. And that's the show, man.